Hello, and welcome to this Long Island News Update. It's April 14th, 2017. We're here in the Pine Barrens. I am not feeling well. I'm still battling this horrible, horrible cold that is really in my ears, and it's horrible. Your ears are clogged, and there's pressure. And, every time you try to move around, it feels like your head is going to explode. It's horrible. It's a cold, though. I'm not really having any pain, so that's why I don't think it's an ear infection. But this is the third one I've had this year, and honestly, I see myself just getting very run down from this battle here that I'm going through. But I wanted to tell you some, latest news that kind of pertains to my last video that I made about the rent is too damn high, and that is that yesterday it came out. There was an article in Newsday. You can read the link below. It basically says the home prices in Nassau County were up 11%, and in Suffolk they were up 6% within the past year from 2016 to 2017. And, I think it's just getting to be an out-of-control problem with the housing prices on Long Island, and this dichotomy going on, which I explained to you in the last video, with all the good areas, all the decent towns, all the rich people going in there and snatching it up. And I use the phrase snatch it up because that's their attitude, is that we've snatched it up and it's ours now, and they're, and that's what they're doing. They're taking over all the decent neighborhoods, and, for somebody like me, it gets to be very hard to actually find a place in a decent neighborhood to live, leaving me stuck in Westbury, which isn't the worst place, but like I said, it has problems. And we have continued problems with struggles economically. It's hard to. Our town is not popular. It's not a popular place. People don't want to come, and it's depressing when there's nobody around and there's no life. And there's no life in that town. Very rarely, once in a while, there might be life, but a lot of times there isn't life. When you go to a town like Farmingdale or Mineola or Patchogue, Rockville Center or Belmore, there's more life there. But in Westbury, there is no life. It's dead, and it's very depressing, and it's very discouraging for me to keep trying and keep looking. I honestly think that this is wrong. They're trying to force me off Long Island is what's going on. That's why they're cutting our bus service. That's why they're driving up the housing prices. That's why they're neglecting all the lower income and middle class communities to make it a place for only rich people, especially Nassau County. And, I'm just fed up with it. And I think more people need to speak up about this. More people need to speak up. Why should I be the only Long Islander making videos about this? There should be other people from Long Island making videos. If you live on Long Island and you're going through the same kind of thing, please make a video. Speak out, because otherwise the politicians, the elected officials, and the media aren't going to know what's going on, and they're going to keep just passing the buck. And, it's not right. It's not right at all. I am somebody who thinks that, like I said in my last video, we need to do something about making affordable housing in all the communities. And I'm sorry if that pisses off people on the right. Like I said, I'm good at pissing people off on the right. I'm good at pissing people on the left. I'm very politically incorrect. I'm sure Lee would give that Bill Maher, who had a show called Politically Incorrect, I don't know if it's still on the air, a run for his money, I'm sure. But I think that we have a serious problem on Long Island with inequality. And this leads me to the next story. They found four teenagers, these aren't even adults, murdered dead in his park in Central Islip that happens to be literally a stone's throw from the Central Islip train station. Has all the hallmarks of MS-13. They were all stabbed to death, probably with a machete. This gang is out of control. And the elected officials, they're not doing enough. If this gang was terrorizing people in Massapequa, they'd be doing something. And yes, it has affected Massapequa because they found a body there too. Like I said in my video, hey, Long Islanders, we're all on the same ship or something like that. We have serious problems, and these rich people think they can just come in and say, well, sorry, these problems don't affect us, we don't give a shit about them. They affect us all. And we have a big interest here to clean up these problems. I do think, I'm still going to say it, I'm very disappointed in you, Donald Trump. He came in and he said he was going to put the Americans first. He said he was going to deport the illegals. He said on day one he was going to start deporting them. Well, he hasn't deported any more illegals than his predecessor right now. That's right. He hasn't deported any more than his predecessor, Obama. All right? Meanwhile, he's whining and dining on his golf course, meeting with all these foreign leaders. Whatever happened to America first? The guy, literally, I have to admit, I was bamboozled by Donald Trump. I was bamboozled by him. I think we all were. That's good. That's one thing he's good at doing, is trying to get people to buy into a product and then screwing them at the end. And that's exactly what he's done. I still have friends who think he's a great guy, but more and more time goes on, the more and more I'm disappointed in him. Because the more and more time goes on, and these illegals are still here. They are still here. They're still killing people. They're still here. What happened to deporting the gangbangers, deporting all the bad hombres? What happened to that? They're still here. They're still killing people. They're still killing innocent people. They're terrorizing people in communities like Brentwood and Central Islip. And these are communities where there's a lot of illegals. There's a lot of gangs and criminals. But there are also good people that are caught in the middle of this mess. Good people who can't afford to live somewhere better because all the better places on Long Island got taken over by these rich people. All right? Where they're discriminated against. All right? And so people are left with a choice. Well, they're going to have to leave Long Island. And I worry I'm going to have to make that choice because I'm worried that my town will continue. Thank God this violence has not spread to my town. But if it had spread to my town and I couldn't get out of there, I would have to say, that's it. I have to leave Long Island because I have to put my life before everything else. And if it gets to the point of being so dangerous that I have to leave, then I have to leave. And it's going to suck. It's going to break my heart. And I'll probably have to place that's similar East Toms River, and I don't know if I could find housing there. They probably do have. They have a lot of housing for people there. All right, according to people I've spoken to. All right, but it would be very difficult. My heart is here on Long Island. It's not in New Jersey. My heart is here. All right, and these people, these rich people, I look. I don't hate them. I just want them to understand that I have just as much of a right to the safety and quality of life that they experience as I do. You know what I mean? They can have the money, they can have the fancy cars. I don't want any of that. I just want to live in a safe community where I'm happy. Westbury has issues. Thank God it hasn't gotten to the point of Brentwood and Central Islip, but I worried it will, especially if more and more illegals keep coming and our president keeps talking but not deporting. Donald Trump, you need to start deporting, less talking, less golfing. You said you were going to work hard. You said you weren't going to. You picked on Obama for spending too much time at his golf course. Well, you're spending even more time than he is. All right? Yeah, I am pissed with Donald Trump. I am. All right? I'm honest. All right? I'm still a Trump supporter, and I still would have voted for him, even knowing this, because the other alternative, Hillary Clinton, would have been far worse. But I'm disappointed in you, Mr. Trump. I really am. I'm really disappointed. You were supposed to deport them. Where is ICE? Where is the help for these communities? You said you were going to deport them. Why isn't ICE coming to the communities and rounding these fuckers up? All right? And what I mean by that, I mean these criminals. All right? I'm not saying you just go and you pick up any illegal. But if they're in a gang, if they're causing problems, out. That's it. Deport them. That's it. You can deport hundreds. Instead of he's deported maybe 30 or 40 on Long Island since the beginning of this year. No, it should be more like 400 or 500 or maybe even 5,000 of them. All right? These people are not human beings, the people that are doing these crimes right now. These gang members. All right? And they need to go and get deported. And we need to build the wall and keep them out. And if we don't have a wall right there, then we need the military there and shoot on sight any illegals that come across that damn border. All right? They're criminals. They've broken the law. I remain against illegal immigration. It doesn't make me a racist. All right? I love immigrants to come here legally and respect our community, but these illegals, the majority of them, are thugs. They're committing crime. They're bringing problems. Yes, there are a few good people, but a lot of them are problems and need to be deported. Now I'm going on a big rant about it once again. But that's how I feel, you know? I mean, they've turned my town is literally just not a popular place for people, all right? People don't want to come. We can't get any trendy places. We can't get anything. And you know something? If I didn't like rich people so much, why the fuck would I want to be around them? I'd rather be around rich people because they're happy and there's more of a positive vibe around them than being around depressed people like myself. But they won't let me be with them. They just toss me to the curb. Well, I'm sorry, you're not one of us, so you got to be just tossed aside like a speck of dirt. You're not one of us. You can't live with us in Farmingdale or Mineola or Belmore or any other decent town on Long Island. You can't live with us. You have to be in with the criminals, with the degenerates, because you're just like them. You're one of them. And that's what they think. Just because I have mental illness, just because I was born with mental illness, means I don't have a right to be happy, according to these people. And I know I keep ranting about it. It pisses me off, and I really wish other people who have mental illness would make videos about this. I know one other guy personally lives on Long Island, all right, he comments here. Why isn't he making videos about this stuff? He's experienced the same kind of crap. He needs to speak out, too. We all need to speak out. This crap has got to stop. We got to stop picking on people with mental illness. All right? We got to give them what they need so they can get better instead of keeping them down. All right. Got kind of angry there. The last thing I want to talk about here is regarding public transportation. Nice busting, you know, the cuts went into effect. And the ridership patterns, I haven't seen too much chaos. Then again, the kids have been off from college this week, all right? There hasn't been college, there hasn't been school. See what happens next week, all right? But one thing I have noticed is that some people are starting to gravitate toward alternatives, like N72 users in North Lindenhurst and North Babylon are now using the S33 to Sunrise Mall to get the N54 or N55 or N71 to Hempstead. And if you're relying on the N72, there are ways around that cut. Like I said, you could take the 33 if you're in that 109 corridor there. If you're more toward Babylon, you can take the S20 and connect up there to the Sunrise Mall. If you're along closer to Route 110, you can take the S1 and connect up to the N70 or N72. And also, if you're going to Bayshore, if you're more toward Bayshore, you can take the 2B bus to Farmingdale State College and get the N70 or N72 there as well. So there are ways around that cut. You know, and I really wish NICE would have put alternatives for people, because people are going to be confused. You know, they should tell an alternative way of going, you know, and they're not doing that, you know, and they need to do that. But, you know, I mean, look, I'm going to say it, I've said it again, the blame for this bus crisis in Nassau County, is, as much as I don't like the way TransDev runs things, it's not TransDev's fault. It's Nassau County's fault. Because if Nassau County just paid for their bus system, the MTA would probably still be in Nassau County and would be enjoying 2011 we'd be enjoying the same service that we had prior to 2012 when NICE came in. All right, but no, we didn't do that. And they, like I said, because they want to take away the buses, they want to force the poor people out, they want to make the life so miserable for the lower income that they leave. Well, you know what? Fuck that. We're not going anywhere. All right? We got to stand up and fight, my fellow Long Islanders. We can't be treated like this. All right? The other thing is the Long Island Railroad has been having a lot of problems lately. A report came out that there's been a lot of lost productivity, and one of the most frequently canceled trains on the entire Long Island Railroad is the 605 Flyer train, that three-stop flyer that stops at Merrick, Belmore, and Wantaw. And it's frequently combined with the 610 train that stops at Rockville Center, Baldwin, and Freeport. Well, interesting to say, there was a news report, and I got to hand it to Verizon, Fios. They really know how to pick the winners over there on the South Shore. So listen to this guy. He's upset that his train was canceled and they got quote-unquote crowded, and they had it stop and go on a train with people from Baldwin and Freeport. Just listen to this.
They're the ones that are always getting pushed out into another train, and what they do is they combine us with another train that goes to Freeport, Rockville Center, and Baldwin, and that's packed.
Yeah, so, he's not happy about it. I wonder why he's not happy about it. It's typical. You saw how he just rolled his eyes there. You saw how he just rolls. Probably another stockbroker, another racist bigot who is upset about getting on a train with people that are different than him. All right? This is the attitude people have. Yeah, it's not right the train's canceled. I agree it's not right. It makes it crowded. But you know what? They act like they're the only ones on that freaking Babylon branch that have to suffer. Well, you know, most of the time when their trains are combined, the next train is only another 5 minutes later. On the other branches, people have to wait much longer, up to 20 minutes, or maybe even 30, you know, for the next train. So they got it good compared to everybody else, but they act like they're the ones that are taking it on the chin all the time. You know, give me a break. I mean, they're getting, 4 or 5 extra trains today. And 3 of those trains are express trains. They're extra trains for Good Friday. And 3 of those are express trains that don't even stop at Jamaica. That's the Babylon branch. That's what they're getting. Meanwhile, this Ronkonkoma branch here, we're in Deer Park, they're only getting 1 extra train. All right? And this branch carries even more people than that Babylon branch does. All right? So it's total inequality, total bullshit, total discrimination, and it just pisses me off. And that's why I got to, for a while I was like, I can't handle making videos. But you know what? I have to make videos because it's part of my venting. If I don't, it's better for me. And I feel like it accomplishes something. Maybe somebody out there, somebody else will get involved in these issues and fix the problems that are plaguing Long Island right now. We've got to weed out the corruption. We've got to weed out these problems that people are going through. We've got to weed out the inequality. And I've said how to do that. We can get rid of the inequality by simply starting to enforce our laws again. Getting rid of the illegals, getting rid of the worst ones anyway. I mean, there are a few, I'm not saying every single illegal is a problem. There are people who are here illegally that are good people that really do want to become Americans. But a lot of them are also criminals, and they need to be deported. And we've got to get those criminals out so everyone else can be safe again. Get these gangs off our streets, And then work on doing something about the housing crisis by mandating that 30% of all new housing be affordable by HUD rates. That way, young people who continuing to leave Long Island, right? Young people are leaving. Most of the people that are buying these homes, like I said in my other video, and these spending so much money on this stuff, they're 30-somethings, or at least 30, if not more, white-collar people, all right, that work in the city. And it's so bad that people get into bidding wars over houses, and a lot of houses in actually decent neighborhoods wind up going for over list price. They get into a freaking bidding war, which drives me crazy. I hate bidding wars. eBay used to actually be a good place, and you used to get good deals on stuff there, but now it's hard because these people come in with money and they start getting into bidding wars, and then you can't longer get it. The price winds up going way over what the item is actually worth. So it's the same thing with the houses here. It's the same damn thing. And all the things I talked about, the pressure that's going on Long Island with all these 30-somethings coming out of the city and buying up homes here, is putting pressure on not only the housing market, but our environment here. Our beautiful Pine Barrens, all right, are going to suffer too, because eventually this is a preserve here where I'm at, but there's an area that's just like this right across from the train station. And then there's the area that's Pilgrim, that's north of here, where they want to build all these hot apartment units. And they say, it'll be a place for young people. But it's going to all be unaffordable stuff that young people won't be able to afford. And it's going to be more of these city people coming out, these 30-something people coming out here and driving their fancy cars, being rude, and taking their city rush lifestyle around here. I grew up on Long Island. I spent all my life on Long Island. It never used to be like this. It used to be nice, peaceful, suburban place. But these people are ruining it. But yet my heart is still here, and I want to stay here. Even if things are changing, it's still where my heart is. That's how I can explain it to you. But anyway, this turned out to be a pretty long Long Island news update. But I guess there was a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot more stuff to get off my chest. But I just want other people to speak up. They just want to make life miserable for people. They want to make life hard. But we have to stand here and we have to speak up about what's going on, because this is the American thing to do. And even people who I support, like our president, who I voted for, you know what I mean? I'm going to openly criticize him here and say he's not doing a good job, because he ain't doing a good job. He's not getting rid of he's not keeping his promise, but getting rid of the illegal, these dangerous illegals, getting them off our streets. All right, I remember when he said they'd be gone. Well, they're not gone. They're still everywhere. We got to get rid of these people. All right? The problem people need to go. All right? They bring nothing but problems, and I say it over and over again. A lot of people on the left will say, well, this guy's a racist. I'm not a racist. The sad thing is, it is people of color and legal immigrants that are suffering the most with the illegal immigration, because the illegals are winding up in their communities. Communities that have historically been mostly minority, like Hempstead, all right, like Brentwood, like Central Islip. They're the ones that are suffering the most. It's not the white people. If anything, this whole thing with the illegal immigrants coming here and being dumped here is racist. So get it through your freaking heads, liberals. See, I managed to piss off people on both sides. So, anyway, I'm still fighting this sickness here. It is making me sick what I'm going through. But I'm grateful it isn't worse. I'm grateful that Westbury hasn't gotten to the point of people winding up dead all over town. All right? If it starts getting to that point, and then I can't find a place on Long Island that's safe, I will have to leave, because I can't put my life in danger. And it's a shame. It really is. Let's get these illegals out of here. Let's get these criminals out of here. Let's clean up Long Island. Let's make Long Island great again. If I wasn't so ill and didn't have all my problems, I would love to. Well, there's no such thing as president of Long Island, but I would love to run for county executive or something like that, because I'd clean this shit up. I'd preserve the Pine Barrens. I'd make this place fair. I'd improve our transportation. We'd keep our young people here. And I'm sorry the rich people will have to pay their fair share a little more. But the rich people, I have nothing against them, all right? I don't hate them. But people are like, why do you hate rich people? Look, I hate people who are greedy, all right? I hate people who are narrow-minded, all right? But these people need to open their minds and say, you know what? I'm coming here, I've got money, I've got a fancy car, I've got a big house, but that doesn't make me any better than anyone else, And anyway, that is it, so take it easy. Keep you posted, I guess, on this whole thing here with all these news, but I figured, I saw that article in Newsday, it just reaffirmed what's going on here on Long Island, and reaffirmed what the problem is. And I really don't want to leave. I really don't. But I'm scared that I'm getting backed into a corner where it's going to get so dangerous and I'm not going to be able to get into a safe area that I may have to leave. And it's surely going to break my heart, because my heart is here. I just wish people would understand what I'm going through. I really wish people would understand what it's like not to be able to live where you want to live. All right? And it's not because I'm being choosy or picky. It's because I want to feel safe and I want to feel happy. It's not like I'm looking to move to some Miracle Mile on Manhasset. But it seems like every town that's decent is becoming like the Miracle Mile, priced out for everybody but the rich and the Wall Street and the white-collar professionals. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. We got to make things equal again. We got to make Long Island great again. Make Long Island what it was, which was a nice, slow-paced, peaceful suburb of New York City with decent middle-class people, instead of this dichotomy that we have now. And of course, we got to protect these beautiful pine barrens. All right? We got to stop cutting down trees. No more trees cut down. That's another thing. If I was county executive, moratorium on tree removal. No more trees we can cut down. We got to save every tree. All right? None of this stuff. None of this destruction going on. Anyway, it's time for me to go, so take it easy.